Hello, my dear friends. We started to study Tanya. It's great sefer, great book. But the thing is, maybe some of you don't know who is the author of Tanya. And I decided to make short video to tell you a little bit few words about author of Tanya, Alter-Rebbe, which is first Lubavitcher Rebbe or founder of Chabad movement. Because we know who wrote Torah, we know who wrote Tehillim, book of Psalms, we know who wrote Zohar, we know who wrote Mishnah Torah. I mean, you know, but maybe not all of you know author of Tanya, who wrote this wonderful book. This book is telling us how to serve Hashem intellectually. So how intellect can control heart, which heart it's a manifestation of our animalistic soul. Or Alter-Rebbe called it vital soul. So we started to talk last class that Hashem gave us. We're talking about Jewish people only. I'm not talking about other nations, just about Jews. So Hashem gave to Jewish people two souls. One soul is godly soul. Another one is vital soul, or we can call, to make it easy, animalistic soul. So they have a conflict. And godly soul, Nefesh Elokus, lives here. This neshama sits in our intellect, in our brain. That's why our sages recommend to eat kosher food, because kosher food is very good for brain. It's good for neshama first. As far as neshama sits here, so it gives positive effect for our brain, for our memory, for our analytic abilities. So whatever is good for Nefesh Elokis is good for our brain. That's why people who are working by brain a lot and who eat kosher food, they have like prevention against Alzheimer, Parkinson, dementia, etc. So that's why we eat kosher food, to make our brain working better. So another neshama, another soul, nefesh behemit, I think the Russian word behemoth came from this. Nefesh behemit, it's animalistic soul or vital soul, which represents our body, which gives us all motions and give us livelihood. She lives in left part of our heart. So, and whatever connected with blood, as far as neshama sits in the blood and goes through the heart, so that's her place to stay. And heart and intellect, they have a conflict. Who will control the body? Either brain will control the heart and all emotions and whole body, or heart will prevail with emotions, with desires, with instincts, etc. So this concept was formulated first in Zohar by Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, then deeply explained by Arizal. It's already 16th century, Tzfat, Israel, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, Ashkenazi. And based on his teaching, Alter-Rebbe, who is founder of Chabad, he wrote his book Tanya. So finally, Tanya is his teaching plus Kabbalah from Arizal, from Rashbi. Now a few words about author of Tanya, about Alter-Rebbe. For you to know Because some people can say, why should I trust this person? I have no idea about him. I don't know who is him. Why should I trust him? I trust Torah because Moshe Rabbeinu brought it. I trust Psalms book because it's brought by King David. I trust Mishnah Torah because it was brought by Rabbi Nossi Prince, etc. So many Sfarim we have written by very well-known authors, ancient authors, but Alter-Rebbe maybe known a little bit less. That's why I would like to devote some little time to tell you few words and few stories about Alter-Rebbe. So he was born in High Elul, which is 18 of Elul. It's about August, summertime, of 1745. 1745. So, he was growing, very talented boy, very gifted boy, and very soon his teachers said, we cannot teach this boy because he knows much better, he understands much better. His appearance was predicted by Baal Shem Tov, who was born in 1698, 47 years earlier. He was born. He is a founder of Hasidic movement at large. Now Hasidic movement has many directions, many different Hasidim. We're going to talk about Lubavitcher. And Baal Shem Tov said that soon brand new neshama will come to this world, which happens very rare. Like there are no new neshamas in the heaven. All of them were used many times, many cycles. They get through the Gilgulim, many cycles. We know that. It's Kabbalah tells us about it. Some people ask, does Judaism believe in reincarnation? I always answer, this theory of reincarnation came from Judaism. So, and he predicted that new neshama will come, and he suggested to his parents in the future what to do, how to raise child. And he met him once at age of 3. Alter-Rebbe, like we all know, all boys at age of 3, they make up shernish, first haircut. And Baal Shem Tov came for this haircut, but Alter-Rebbe didn't see him, and it was like a hidden procedure. And Baal Shem Tov didn't want influence Alter-Rebbe. He wanted Alter-Rebbe to find his own way, which is now we know as a Chabad. That's why he didn't want to push him, he didn't want to influence him. He wanted Alter-Rebbe to grow himself, and he just recommended to go to Maggid. Maggid was student of Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem Tov wanted Maggid to teach Alter-Rebbe. That's how lineage from teacher to student comes to our time. So, like we said, Alter-Rebbe was very gifted student, and soon teacher said, "We nothing we can do." And at age of bar mitzvah, Alter-Rebbe came to Maggid and started to study from Maggid, many different studies and many different disciplines. And when Alter-Rebbe founded the Chabad movement, he was already like working in full force. He knew so many things, and that's why he lived in Ladi, it's Liozna, and he had like a growing Chabad yard from 1 to 2, and etc. More and more people were joining his movement because they saw his vision. They listened to him very attentively. They listened to his teaching, and they understood it's really good and it really works. So Alter-Rebbe was doing many different kinds of magics, but the magic for our Rebbeim is not like a performance. It's just a help of Jews. It's not like a separate kind of illusion, like David Copperfield or etc. So for Rebbeim it was not like show off, demonstrate their magics. No, they were helping people to have parnasa, to have health, to have children, to find the spouse, etc. It was like a part of their mission. And Alter-Rebbe, unfortunately, he passed away in 1813, right after the war with Napoleon. And Alter-Rebbe, like in my previous story, Russian spy, Alter-Rebbe intensively was helping Russian Tsar. And one day I'll tell you a story how Alter-Rebbe had a battle with another big rabbi from another movement, whose army will win. Because Alter-Rebbe was supporting Russian Tsar, another rabbi was supporting Napoleon. Because Napoleon will bring liberty, he'll bring freedom, he will bring many perks for Jews. But Alter-Rebbe was saying, no, liberty is very dangerous, freedom very dangerous for Jewish people. Like we see now in America and Canada, as far as Jews feel freedom, unfortunately they get to assimilation. Unfortunately. When Jews feel like oppressed, like in the USSR, where I'm from, like constant pressure. We knew we were Jewish, we knew that we have to find a Jewish spouse, so we knew so many things. Even in internal passport, in my time, it was says Jew. If you open internal passport, it's a format of international passport, the same thing. It was a special line, nationality. It was not nationality like a Soviet person or Russian, like Canadians. It was saying Jew. So anybody who stops you, policeman, whoever, or anywhere you go to, because many bureaucratic organizations, etc., they ask passport, like ID. Like in Canada, they always ask driver license. So in Soviet Union, they were asking, there was only one kind of ID, it was a passport. So you ask in passport, they open it, they say, oh, you are Jewish. So, and I remember this time very clear, and it was bad from one side, but from another side, you always knew you are Jewish, you always knew you are different. You always knew you under the pressure, you have to be together with other Jews. So that's why Alter-Rebbe was against Napoleon, who brought freedom. And he supported Russian Tsar. He said, Jewish people needs pressure. Like, what is the best part of olive? The oil. How do you get oil? By pressure. So, and I'll tell you just one short story about Alter-Rebbe, then I will continue story by story, because it's a very interesting person. It's a great person. And for example, one short story. When it was printed, the very first map of America, if you remember, America was opened a long time ago, 1492, by Columbus, who was Jewish too. But then it was like a long time with no people, no science, and present America celebrates just 200 years. So, and then they made first map of the America and United States. And this map was presented to Alter-Rebbe, just to understand, to look at it. And then it was a very interesting thing happened. Alter-Rebbe looked at the map, and he said, here's a mistake. People were shocked. How can you say it's a mistake if it's a very first map? So if it's going to be like a few maps before, you can compare them and say, oh yeah, that's mistake. I compare map number 1 with map number 10, and I see big discrepancies. I see difference. I see mistakes. But it was no map at all printed that time. So how Alter-Rebbe could say that? So people were shocked, and they asked him, Rebbe, how can you know that there is a mistake? Listen to the answer. Rebbe said, it's very simple. You open book of Torah, remember, the very first letter, very first word was Bereshit. So Bereshit starts from letter Bet. And Rebbe said, I look at the letter Bet. In this letter, it's a whole universe I can see. So Hashem put in the letter Bet the whole universe. And he said, I look at the map of America, I compare with what you brought, and I found it's a mistake, discrepancy. How is it? Don't ask me. I have no idea. So that's the very first story. I think it's enough, guys. And now we will open curtain to understand a little bit more what kind of giant wrote the book Tanya. Thank you very much and be well. Bye-bye.